Guys, welcome back to the channel. In this video here, we're going to go over the baits that I got from E Custom Jigs. He is one of my buddies, but one of my sponsors too for fishing tournaments, so I get a little bit of a deal. You guys also get a deal too. Check down in the description and go to him in his Instagram account or his Facebook account and use my code ARO10. I will put it somewhere here, and use that code when you order and you get 10% off your whole order. It's great. And the reason why that's really great is because these baits, as you've seen in my videos, they catch fish. They catch 4-pounders, 5-pounders, 1-pounders, whatever you want to catch. They work. So go get yourself some of those, and that's the reason why I throw a lot of his baits too. And I told my buddy, I said, hey, I will buy your jigs because your jigs are really awesome. I love your jigs. The jigs work great, and they do. I have a whole box full of jigs. I had a lot of Guggen jigs too, and I had a lot of Terminator jigs, and I've now have just gravitated towards all of the E Custom Jigs. Why do I need to use the other jigs if his jigs work for me and they do everything else? They do everything that all these other jigs do, and I get a little bit of a discount on them too, and so will you guys. Remember that code, use that code. The other thing is, some of these jigs have lasted a lot longer than some of his jigs. His jigs have lasted a lot longer than the Guggen Squad jigs, Terminator jigs, and what I'm talking about lasting longer is skirts. Some of my skirts on the jigs are going to get torn up, just like your guys are going to, because you're going to catch a lot of pike. Pike are going to tear those things up. I have not had an issue with any of E Custom Jigs. I'm going to keep using them. So we're going to dive into this box here that I ordered from E Custom Jigs. First thing we're going to jump into, we're going to look at the jigs. Obviously, E Custom Jigs, he started out making jigs first, right? So he sent me a couple of prototypes that we're going to mess around with, we're going to play with, and these first ones, they're going to be really good. Maybe, I don't know, I've never tried this color before, but I am definitely going to try this on the river. So I don't know if you can see it, but it's like it's a white and a purple, like kind of like a light purple color swim jig. So we got a couple of those that we're going to try. And then he's got a new jig he's been pouring. It's not, I mean, there's other jigs out there similar to it, but this is one he's got that he's been pouring. And we're going to throw this too. I'm probably going to, let me take one out so I can show you a bit better. What I'm going to do is I'm definitely going to use it, like that. I don't know if you see it, was that too close? Sorry. But I'm also going to snip off this little, I don't know what it's called, but this little piece that comes out of the bottom here. I'm going to snip that off with, I got it packed away, but some cutters. I'm going to snip that off with some cutters, and I'm going to fish this with just like a fluke style bait or just your regular paddle tail swim bait. And I'm going to fish it either deep water or shallow water. You can do it both ways. This is a 3/8 here, so if you go with a smaller swim bait, you can fish it a lot deeper, easier. And same thing with the fluke style bait. You can also fish a little bit deeper too, and it'll be easier to handle. I got, what colors I got? I did get a 1/4 and 3/8 size of these, and I got white chartreuse and some kind of a silver gray or a I forgot the word I'm looking for, but like that, like a darker gray, a lead color. There we go, lead color. I don't know why I couldn't figure that out. And then we have some more football head shaky heads. These are heavier. These are 1/2 ounce. and we got a 3/8. Why? Why do I want 1/2 ounce shaky heads? They're really heavy. Football heads as well. And what I'm going to use those for is I'm going to put some smaller cross, some smaller baits, some smaller swim baits, and even some fluke style baits too, and some shorter worms. All of those I'm going to fish on these heavier football head jigs. Why? So again, why? I'm going to throw them out on deeper humps, on some rocky gravel style areas, and 3/8 to 1/2 ounce, that's going to be down to about, I don't know, the 20 foot range. 20 foot, 20 to 25 foot, maybe even 30. And so why do I want those down there? So I can roll them, and it's going to tag the bottom, but it'll stay closer to the bottom, and I don't have to fish them super slow just for it to be down at the bottom. I can just do a normal reel, and I can try to burn it. So what I want to do is I want to burn it on the bottom without it coming up too far. Now I'll burn it until I stop feeling the bottom, and I'll slow it down just a little bit until I'm consistently feeling the bottom. That's my retrieve. That's what I'm going to try and go for. Now I will also try a stop and start too. If I'm not getting first couple 3, 4, 5 casts, I'm not getting any bites, I will try pausing it in between. Mix up your cadences and go fast, slow, stop, starts. Figure out what's going to work. Figure out what they want to bite. Okay, so onto the plastics part of it. We cover the jigs. Now, the soft plastic part of it, these are what we call the mud bug. And this thing, this color to be exact, so this is me restocking. If you watch my latest video, not latest, my later fall fishing video of 2022, you will see that this exact bait, the June bug bait, mud bug, on his June bug swim jig, not only caught some 3-4 pound bass, but also caught some really nice walleye. Now granted, with that line, it wasn't straight braid. Okay, I did this 40 pound braid, it's either 40 or 50 pound braid, and then I did the 20 pound fluorocarbon leader, probably about a 10-foot leader. And that was probably what helped them bite, because they probably couldn't see the line. I don't get a lot of walleye bites on swim jigs and soft plastics, bass plastics anyways, bass swim jigs, unless I have fluorocarbon line, especially June bug color for, of all colors. But that day, 2 fish in a row wanted that. So restocking on that. That was a killer for me last fall, and I really do well with June bug and black and blue. Black and blue is my confidence color. I will throw it any time of year on anything at anywhere. I don't know why black and blue works so well. Maybe it's just because of the contrast and they can see it. Visual feeders maybe, but it works in clear water too. Clear water and muddy water. I love black and blue. I always get bites on black and blue. A lot of guys swear on green pumpkin. Not a bad color. Green pumpkin's really good too. I don't have green pumpkin mud bug here because I'm already stocked up, but green pumpkin is also another really good color. Now, I also picked up a couple of different colors. This is orange. I think this. So we got some orange cross, and is that orange or red? Oh yeah, that's definitely orange, which is good. I wanted an orange cross, and we got some white. Whites, I'm going to use a little bit more. So these guys, I'm going to throw these on, for example, on a bladed jig like this. White bladed jig. white chartreuse. Now, side note, I may snip the skirt to the bottom of the hook right there. I might snip it like that. Actually, not a might. I'm going to snip it when I rig it up. But I don't like a ton of skirt on my bladed jigs. But that's what I'm gonna throw with these. Need some whites. Okay, so next, the frogs. In that other last video I did, I showed you guys a couple of the frogs that I was gonna use, and I believe, well, I don't know. First of all, these are the prototype frogs that we were testing out first. So we were trying to test out plastic hardness and, you know, whether or not it's gonna float or not. Okay. Now, these didn't float very well. Whatever, that's fine. It's a completely different action. They don't sink though as fast as some of the other baits. So the fact that they still sink a little bit, that's okay. That's not a bad thing. It's really not a bad thing at all. So we got some of these. This is so this is a really unique flake color. I don't know why I didn't request this last time, but we got a lot of different color flake in this one. But you know what? Any color, black and red, black blue, black and like disco color. I don't know if you want to call it that. Here's black and blue. It's gonna work too. Black and blue, some kind of white. I asked for a little bit more blue flake in the white, just for some kind of a different look. I really like this. I really like this color. I think it's really gonna pop, and I think it's gonna do well, very well. We also got, I think I showed you guys the red ones in another video. We also got an orange frog and green pumpkin frog. Why orange and red? I think I kind of stated in the other video why the red. Orange, I just want something that stands out. I don't know, nothing special. I want something that stands out and looking for that reaction bite. And you're gonna get that with some of those colors. They might not like it, but there's gonna be some times they really do want it. And they're just gonna hit this because they don't like it. Not because they're hungry. This is why we call it a reaction bite. Next thing we got going on here that we got from him are some of his 10-inch worms. I didn't really get a good chance to try out the 10-inch worms last summer. We are going to this year. This is a green pumpkin version. So there's a lot of green pumpkins out there that are darker. I really like this green pumpkin because it's a little bit translucent. It's not as dark. Some of those green pumpkins, they almost look brown. And that's not what I'm looking for. This is what I want. Then we got black and blue, staple for worm, 10-inch worms. And we got a plum color. I'm going to take this out of the package. So here it is in the package. You can maybe see a little bit here in the tail. I really like this plum color. This color is going to be pretty amazing. Look at that color. You see that? Really like that color. He puts garlic in all his baits to kind of help out a little bit with the scent. I feel like the garlic does help a little bit. So we're going to mess around with some of the 10-inch worms. I really like those. I mean, I know they're going to catch fish, but I'll prove that to you this summer. All right, next we have what we call the flow shad. And the reason why I call it the flow shad, now I know this comes out of a custom mold, so I don't know what anybody else calls it, but we call this a flow shad because of the tail style It's different than your typical, it's like a fluke style bait, but it's different in the tail. And these are all hand poured. And so they've got the flat top on them. It's very unique. The tail is flat. It's flat. So when you see it from the bottom, it's like that, but it's flat. It's not like it comes down to a point, or it's not like a twin tail, or like, you know, it splits. It's not like a split tail. It's flat. And I'll show you. Why is that unique? Well, because we don't really see a lot of those, you know, around here. Or done. I've got a color that I'm not going to show you guys. Maybe I might have already shown you in one of my previous videos. I don't know. We'll see. I don't remember. But I've got a color that I had him do for me because they wanted that color over everything else. It didn't matter what you threw, they wanted that color. So I made him make me that color again. I'm not going to show it to you guys right now, maybe later. But here's this flow shad. I'm going to take out the black and blue model here. So here it is, right there. There we go. Here's what I'm talking about with the tail. See that? There's the tail. It's like a triangle style tail. But look, it's flat. It's flat. And pour top, so it's flat top. Here's the thing too. Here's another video. So it's got a cavity there for your hook. That's key. It's very key. But if you use, so that means you can use, I mean, you don't need a wide gap hook for this guy. You can use like a, what I like to use is it's the Guggen Baits heavy hammer hook. So why do I like that? You know, why do I like that hook over a wide gap hook or anything else? So that their hammer hook is a cross between a worm hook and a wide gap hook, extra wide gap hook. Now why? Why would I want that? Extra wide gap would give me more space for the bait to be, you know, compressed down, and the fish would grab and take the hook. Well, I don't really need all that space, and I don't want the hook to be hanging down here, right? I want it streamlined. And with this cavity here, I can use that heavy hammer hook, and it'll come down a little bit here, come up, and when the fish go and bite it, there's still plenty of space, lots of space there for them to grab the hook. So this is gonna be a really key bait for me. I got whites, obviously black and blue, you saw those. This one is like your watermelon red. That's gonna be a good color. Now I couldn't resist. I got red with black and flake, red with black flake, and orange and yellow. It's kind of like your hothead color. I think it's called hothead, something like that. I think Rappel's got like a hothead color, but it's similar to that. Orange and yellow. And then kind of like your parrot style bait here. You know, you get your green, oh sorry, green on top, orange on the bottom, and a blue tail. You know, these are all going to produce very well. The last one, which I think is going to produce very well for me, and I can pinpoint the exact tournament this is going to produce because I know this is why I got it, is they call it a green gizzard shad. So you get the silver body, silver belly, excuse me, and the green top. Now it's hard to see. It's going to be hard to see in the video on the camera here, and I apologize for that. But this looks black, but it is a green. It's a little bit of a darker green, and this is a great natural color. This is going to catch fish just about anywhere. You know, so like I said, you want to hit up JE Custom Jigs, go check out the link in my description. Use that code ARO10. Save yourself 10% off your whole order. These are going to catch you fish. All right, the last bait that we're going to look at is something new he's trying out, and this is going to be this bait is going to be a really good Ned rig, drop shot, jig worm. You want to use it as a jig worm? It's not quite long enough, but we're working on getting a 5-incher. So this is a 4-inch, and it's called the dragon worm. Okay, it looks like a huge centipede, right? This thing is awesome. It's got a little ribbon tail here. Got a lot of little ribs, you know, like the legs. Call it the dragon worm. Got a lot of ribs here too in the center. You know, the whole body is ribbed. You know, well, I don't need all this worm. Well, just twist it off at one of the ribs. There you go. You just shorten it up. That's all you need. This thing, I am going to throw this on one of these guys here. Maybe I'm probably going to throw the larger one on here, because this hook is going to be, you know, too far back, and you're going to lose a lot of the action that you really want. So highly pressured, that might work just fine, but I'm use a bigger worm, or I'll use a little bit smaller of a size hook here. But I'm really excited to use this guy. This is going to be a really cool little bait for smallmouth, largemouth. You know, especially largemouth on high pressure bodies of water. I'm looking for something a little bit different, something that they don't really see very often. It's really cool. So we got these as a prototype. We're gonna test these out. You know, we got green pumpkin and we got black and blue. We're gonna make a video on these. We're gonna go through and we're gonna test them out. See how many fish we can catch on them. You know, and size too. You know, we might even be able to catch some nice 5-pounders on these, depending on the forage they eat. You never know. So the last thing that we got is a pretty sweet carpet decal. You saw it in the intro part of the video. We are definitely putting this on the boat. Definitely put it on the boat. We're gonna put it on the hatch here, right there, approximately. And you'll see it in the future videos. But that's gonna do it for us on this video here with the JE Custom Jigs baits and jigs, plastics. A lot of this stuff we're gonna throw on. Before we end the video, actually, I want to explain to you these mud bug craws right here. These guys right here. We're gonna throw these on 3/0 hooks. Okay, 4/0's not gonna fit these. 3/0 hooks, or throw them on any of your swim jigs, or your brush hog style jigs. JE Custom Jigs, he's got a bunch of jigs too. Check them out. But these mud bugs are gonna go on a 3/0 hook, Texas rig, 1/4 ounce weight. It's great for especially docks. If you want to punch, pop it up to a 3/4 ounce. Up here, North Dakota, Minnesota, 3/4 ounce is plenty. Of course, down in Florida, I'm using Florida as an example because it's a huge, it's a huge extreme difference. You're gonna want, they're gonna tell you you're not flipping and you're not punching unless you have 1.5 ounce weight. That's a lot of weight, but again, I'm not punching down in Florida. So anyways, change up your weights according to where you're fishing, what the cover you're fishing. Your hooks for those mud bugs are going to be 3/0 hooks. The frogs, I think I said in the other video, 3/0, 4/0 screw lock hooks. Worms, 5/0. 5/0 or 6/0 worm hook. Or heavy hammer hook by Moving Baits. That's what I use. Let's see these guys here. Let's grab. Okay, the flow shads, 4/0. I'll throw on a 4/0 heavy hammer hook, or throw on a 4/0 wide gap belly weighted hook or underspin hook. Any kind of underspin. That's why I say underspin. I mean, you got Owner, you got the Owner Flashy Swimmer, you got VMC's got one, Baits has one. Typically, I gravitate towards the Owner Flashy Swimmer or the VMC ones. Why? That's just the ones I've been using that have been working really good, and I'm not going to try to change something that's working good for me. Why change something if it's working good? Why fix something that's not broken, right? So that's what I'm going to throw with those. Okay guys, now we're going to end the video here. Thank you for sticking around. Please like, comment, subscribe if you haven't already. If you have, thank you. Really appreciate you. And until next time, we'll catch you later.